kids. My name is Miss Nancy, and I'm so glad you're here with Grow with Miss Nancy. We are here today talking about in the book of Acts when Festus took over for Governor Felix, and Paul had been in prison for 2 years. Festus was trying to figure out how to resolve this Paul trouble, and he talked to the Jewish leaders, but he got no good reasoning from them, and he's just like confused, doesn't know what to do. So he called in King Agrippa, and the two of them are trying to figure out, oh my gosh, we're going to have to write something to to Caesar, who is the emperor of Rome, because Paul has said, I don't want to go to Jerusalem, send me to Rome. Let Caesar decide what to do with me. Oh my goodness. They didn't want to look stupid in front of Caesar. They had to write a really good letter explaining what in the world they were sending this man to Caesar for. And they thought, oh my gosh. So Agrippa says, well, let me hear Paul's story so I can get some kind of clue about what's going on in his life and what's the story? Well, it turns out that Paul went before him and he says, let me tell you, I used to be the man who was arresting these believers in Jesus, throwing them in prison and hoping that they would be killed. And I was even on my way to Damascus to arrest some more people when a voice from heaven and a big light came shining down on me, and it was Jesus talking to me from heaven. And he asked why I was persecuting him. And he even made me go blind. And the people who I was with had to walk me holding my hand to get into the city because I couldn't see. I was totally blind. And then Ananias came and prayed for me, and then I was able to see, and Jesus told me, you need to go out and preach to the Gentiles. I was a new person, and that's what I've been doing. I've been going out and preaching to the Gentile people. Now, Paul might have thought that King Agrippa was going to say, that's wonderful, that is fabulous, I'm going to be a believer in Jesus. But he didn't. He said, Paul, I think you're crazy. As a matter of fact, I think you're insane. I think you're nuts, and yep, we're going to send you on to Rome and let Caesar take care of you. Were you surprised? Not really, because sometimes when people hear our testimony, they see that we're a new person. They hear that the person we used to be is very different, but they may not right away decide to follow Jesus. Now, we don't know whether King Agrippa followed Jesus later or not, because that's not part of what's in the Bible. But he might have. Who knows? But the big thing is, Paul, when he gave his testimony, when he gave his witness, he told what he was like before he met Jesus and what he's like now. And that's really what Jesus wants us to do, is when we tell other people about our lives and how things were different from then and now, so that they can see that we are a new person. And that's what the Holy Spirit does. When he comes into our hearts, we become a new person. And so all that other stuff that we used to do or say or think, it doesn't matter anymore. It's all brand new. And all of that is wiped away. It's kind of like when your teacher erases the chalkboard and now it's blank. That's kind of how our lives are. So that's why today the big idea is, when you talk about Jesus, share how you become a new person when you believed in Jesus. I'm so glad you were here today. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Y'all have a good week. Take care. Bye-bye.